This is shoulders and biceps from Thursday the 7th of November. So let's get into it. This was a fucking great session, actually. And as you can see from the scales here, 123.2 kilos. And as you can see, condition for 271, nearly 272 pounds is pretty sweet. I'm actually pretty pleased. Like, still got abs there, still got fairly decent lines and stuff. And that video was actually taken the night before, so probably a little bit watery. This is my actual pre-workout nutrition. So I have 60 grams of oats pre-workout. Then I add some of this Malteser spread, and it is fucking lovely. And that's the thing, when you're in an off season, you don't need to overcomplicate things and eat super clean. You just want to, because you're going to be eating a lot anyway, you want to make sure that you're making food as tasty as possible. So by all means, throw stuff like this in there. I will also use like Nutella, sometimes peanut butter, just basically any sort of like sugary thing that will give the oats a bit of a nicer flavour, because let's face it, eating oats every single time you train isn't exactly that great. It gets a little bit boring, doesn't it? So like I said, in the off season, change it up. And then I actually have got the new flavour of this, the sour apples from My Protein. And again, I'm not sponsored, don't have any affiliate links, but this is just a really nice tasting and really good like pre-workout powder. And it is half the price of some of the branded stuff that you see online. So yeah, I think it's a really great product. And then we have, now I know Lat Raises aren't exactly anything particularly fun to watch, like they're just Lat Raises, aren't they? But as you can see, like this machine doubles up as a chest fly, and I am on 90, I mean, let's call it 90 kilos, but it's definitely not 90 kilos, it's just 90 on there. And this is the heaviest I've gone on there, and it was a really good set. I think I'd get sort of 8 or 9 decent ones, and then throw up as many sort of like half reps, quarter reps as possible, because I was just feeling really strong. This was probably one of the first sessions where I felt 100% after being ill, and the gym performance was reflecting that, to be honest. The only thing I did actually forget, weirdly, was to do upright rows. So I've thrown in some front raises because I was having a conversation with a mate recently, and he was saying how much the side delts get actually worked. And I was doing a bit of research on shoulders, and it turns out there's not just the front, middle, and rear heads. There's actually, I think, 7 different groups of muscle there. So yeah, I just thought this would be a really good compound exercise. Apparently the side delt gets hit a lot doing front raises, and this was what, 35 kilos on the bar, so it doesn't look like an awful lot, but obviously when you've got a 20 kilo bar plus the plates, and then I think I rock this out for 15 reps. Again, I probably get sort of 8 or 9 constant reps, and then just knock out as many extra as I can, and then finish off with you know, just a bit of momentum reps that you can see here on the end, just to exhaust the muscle, push past failure, because if I stop to 8 or 9, I'm not working the muscle hard enough. Like, I need to push it past failure to force the muscle into adaptation, which is growth, and then go home and feed the muscle. So yeah, pretty simple stuff. And now we're into the fun stuff. This is 240 kilos, and as you'll notice, the bar, I set it just low enough that it's not really a rack pull, but it's low enough where you've got to sort of mini deadlift it up. And I did these the whole time when I was competing, and my traps were pretty decent, as was my middle, back, pretty much everything back. And actually, I make quite a good silhouette here. I know, like, my waist is pulled in just because of the belt, but that's a nice X-frame, I think. Like, I even think my legs are starting to look a sort of decent size from the rear. So all this extra leg work is really paying off, plus the extra calories as well. But yeah, that was 15 reps of 240 kilo shrugs, so I was pretty fucking happy about that, to be honest. And then I dropped down to 200 kilos. And bear in mind, like, this is my 3rd week of doing this, which means I've only done it, what, twice since I've been feeling like a lot better after being ill. And I think I started this on 180 kilos, and I'm already at 240 doing 15. So yeah, I was really pleased with this, and it's such a simple exercise. Like, there's loads of people that overcomplicate shrugs. Obviously you can do what you want, you don't have to fucking follow what I do, but this just works for me. Like, front barbell shrugs as heavy as possible. Try and get your shoulders right up to your ears. Crank out as many good reps as you can, and then have a little breather in the middle, as you can see here, and then just crank out another few more, as many as you can do until you can barely move the bar. So yeah, I think I get, like I said, 16 there. And as you can see, you're pretty fucked by the end of it. 2 sets, nothing else I need to do for shrugs. Absolutely done. And then the final piece of the puzzle here. So I don't film much bicep stuff, and actually the dude in the shot there was using the EZ bar curl. Typically he was on his fucking phone. But so yeah, I started with this, and I think when I actually started at this King's, I was only doing, the maximum I've done is 15 kilos on it. And as you can see, there's 2 10 plates and a 2.5 now, so 22.5 kilos. And I think I knock out, I think, again, I get somewhere in the region of like 8 or 9 constant reps with like really good form, really controlled, because I feel like that's certainly for me, that's what gets the best out of arm training. Like, you have to make sure that you're getting towards double figures with really, really tight controlled form, because there's such small muscles, the arms, that if you start throwing around with momentum and stuff like that, pretty much everything else is working to lift that bar up. And don't get me wrong, your arms are still working, but they're not being worked to their maximum capacity. So yeah, another good set, another PB on there, fucking feeling great. And then I think we switch now to my post-workout meal, which is, yeah, that's right, ham and pineapple pizza. Peace out.